Kendo techniques are basically classified into offensive moves, shikakewaza, and defensive moves with counter-attacks, ojiwaza. Let's study datotsu and shikakewaza based on the correct posture, stroke, footwork, interval and timing covered in the previous video. It's essential to first master the right way of striking your opponent and receiving his blows. The targets of datotsu are men, kote and do. The throat or nodo is the target of tsuki. Let's study how to strike each target. Take the men first. Shomen is the top and front. Other targets are hidari men, above the left temple, and migi men, above the right temple. The kote is usually struck on the kote buton, the mitt of the right hand. However, if your opponent adopts an irregular posture, his hidari kote, or left wrist, can also be struck. Striking at the do. The targets are migi do, the right side of the body, and hidari do, the left side of the body. Tsuki, the thrust. Here the target is the throat or nodo. However, when your opponent takes the jodan posture or uses nito, two swords, his chest also becomes the target of tsuki. The datotsubu is the top third of the shinai, away from the tsuru. Practice wooden swords called bokuto are used for uchigomi geiko, or striking exercises. Never actually strike anyone or anything with the bokuto. It's particularly important for beginners to use bokuto to practice striking by simulating the exact points of the targets on the men, kote and do. Shomen uchi, or the frontal strike. With your right leg leading, move forward with suriashi, swing the shinai in a large arc and make an accurate strike. Hidari men and migi men are similar movements. One of the most common techniques today is shomen uchi using fumikomi-ashi. Master the feeling and timing so you can strike the moment your right foot touches the floor. This will enable you to synchronize your determination to strike, your body movements and the sword. This synchronization is called kiken taichi. Here are some common beginner's mistakes. The left leg is way up in the air. Here the right leg is too high, and the left leg is raised after striking. This time, the left leg is twisted and drags along the floor. The correct way is to bring the left foot sharply down and draw it up to your right heel. Always be mentally and physically prepared after attacking to cope with any counterattack. This preparedness is called zanshin. Assume the required posture to respond to any counterattack. When striking the kote, aim for the kote buton of the right hand, the mitt. Striking the fist of your opponent does not count as datotsu. When striking the do, aim the blade of your shinai in the correct direction. Strike migi do by stepping in. Your left fist and the kensen should remain at waist height. When performing tsuki, thrust at your opponent's throat by stepping forward from your right leg, while squeezing both fists inward and extending your arms out straight. Right after your thrust, draw back your shinai and assume Chudan no Kamae with Zanshin, preparedness to respond to a counterattack from your opponent. It's broadly accepted that the tsuki technique should be taught to juveniles and beginners as late as possible, so as to place a higher priority on development of other techniques and on safety. You should consider this when you instruct other people. The person who receives practice strikes from a partner is called the motodachi. Acting properly as motodachi is not only essential to help your partner develop various techniques, it's also important for mutual practice. When receiving a strike on the men, lower your shinai to the right off guard, keeping your chin down. This makes it easy for your partner to strike your men. Always begin with the correct Chudan no Kamae posture before taking your shinai off guard, and give your partner plenty of opportunity for datotsu while moving back and forth. This is the correct way to receive a strike on the kote. Notice that the motodachi raises the kensen of his shinai to be off guard. Have your partner strike your kote as if you're inviting him to strike. This is the correct way to receive a strike on the door. Raise your arms. Move slightly forward to let your partner strike your door. In some cases, let your partner strike your door by exposing your body off guard. Use this way when teaching the fundamental techniques of striking the door. The correct way to receive tsuki is to lower your kensen to one side off guard. The moment your partner thrusts at your throat, you must keep your chin down, clench your back teeth, and hold in your stomach. Learning the correct way to parry or ward off attacks helps develop the basis of ojiwaza, as well as effective methods of instruction. Therefore, these techniques should be thoroughly practiced. This is the way to parry a strike to the shomen. Use the right or left side of your shinai as a block while moving slightly forward. Parry strikes to the hidari men and migi men by directing your opponent's blow above your left or right shoulder. This is the way to parry the attack of your opponent by striking his shinai downward. Parry strikes to the kote by moving your right fist forward and to the right while squeezing slightly inward. This technique is the basis of kote suriage waza. Parrying with your left side of your shinai by slightly raising your hands leads to the kote oji kaeshi waza. This is the way to parry strikes to the door. This technique leads to the door uchiotoshi waza. There are two correct and sure ways to fend off the datotsu of your opponent, by using your shinai or by moving your body.